This is Decoding Learning Differences with Kimberly Lavelle, and this episode is Writing, Generating Ideas. So a lot of us have kids who are struggling with just coming up with ideas, similar to what I talked about last week with Wesley and the struggles that he was having in coming up with, what do I write? I don't know. Staring at a blank piece of paper or a blank computer screen, just not knowing what to write. So there are different strategies that we have available to us to help us be a little bit more successful with this, or help them to find success in this. First of all, conversations. If a child is speaking, those are words. Those can just be written down. So as soon as we get kids talking, we're much, much closer to getting them writing. Because as I've heard before, if you can speak, you can write. So writer's block can go away as soon as you just start talking. Think about what would you say, just write that down. So having conversations can really help get those juices flowing, help them think, and help them to be successful with this. Research and inspiration can come from books, movies, maybe a field trip to a museum or the beach or the mountains or wherever. That research can give them the information they need to write. It can also give them the inspiration they need to write by reading what someone else has written or by seeing something that gets them passionate about it or interested in it or gives them ideas about how to write it, what to write. So all of those can be very inspiring and provide a lot of information and background research. Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, most writing does require a little bit of research or background knowledge. So having that research really helps kids to be successful in feeling like they do know what to write. They do know about something, especially when it's paired with those conversations that we already mentioned. So now you've done that kind of background work and you're ready to start brainstorming with your child. Brainstorming might use, I was trained in what's called thinking maps. So there's these they're graphic organizers. They're organizing ideas into what they call a thinking map. So circle maps are their brainstorming map. And it's just basically what it sounds like. It's a big circle. You're writing all the ideas in it. What ideas, whatever comes out, you're writing it. I would highly suggest at this stage that you be the scribe and you write it down. Unless your kid actually wants to write it. Most of them, when they have the writer's block, they also have other difficulties like fine motor skills or spelling or both. And taking away the physical component of writing can really help them to if they just have to talk, they can do that, right? Then they're telling you ideas and you're just writing them down in that brainstorming map and helping them come up with things. If they're reluctant and not coming up with much, keep having those conversations. Go back to that research or reference it and give suggestions. Don't write down your suggestions until it's come out of their mouth and let them know I'm only going to write down anything you say. So if you like something I say, you have to also say it. Just to get them actually thinking and saying it and feeling a little bit of ownership over this is my writing, not my parents' writing. So, and let them know my idea is not necessarily a good one, but if you like it, I'll write it. If you don't like it, no problem. And then you might even play a game around that and kind of tease them with it, like saying something that doesn't make any sense. If you're writing about a particular animal and then you say the word Neptune, and they're like, what? Let them throw it out. Or they might tease you back and then say Neptune, and then you have to write it down. But as long as they know that it's just a joke, it can help kind of ease the tension that some kids feel around writing. They can get very stressed out. So anything you do to lighten the mood can really help them feel better about it and get over it. Then you get into the next step, which is adding details. So again, those thinking maps use what's called a flow map or a tree map, depending on the kind of writing you're doing. It's really just a place to put the ideas in an organized way. You may have been trained in creating different kinds of outlines, such as with Roman numerals or with bullet points, whatever kind of outline you like. You might use index cards, and each topic is on an index card with details, or whatever you're already trained in is just fine. If you're not trained in anything, you might want to look up something like a graphic organizer, such as the thinking maps, just to give some ideas on how to organize the ideas. Sometimes the organization helps drive what you would write. So if you're writing, if they're trying to write a story about what they did over Thanksgiving break, such a common assignment, you might organize it in, okay, well, what was the first big thing that you did that you want to write about? And within that, what's important? What are the important details you want to tell them? So you're adding all those pieces, right? You're thinking through. Maybe they're writing about their day. What did you do first thing in the morning? What did you have for breakfast? Whatever it is, writing all those pieces down. Shaking my camera. So your takeaway today is you can help your child generate ideas with conversations, with research and inspiration, and with tools such as thinking maps. I highly suggest that you not be afraid to let your child use those tools, either you as the scribe writing for them or the voice typing. Allow them to take a little bit of ownership and have a little bit more independence in their writing by letting them actually do the voice typing, because then it doesn't require your presence, that they can do it on their own and still not have to do the physical writing. They've got a tool that will do that part for them, and they can just focus on what are the thoughts I'm trying to get out. So I hope that was helpful and give you some ideas on how to help your child with their writing struggles, their generation of idea struggles. If it was, I would love to hear from you. Kimberlyn at decodinglearningdifferences.com. I'd also love to hear from you if you have any stories or any other suggestions. Again, Kimberlyn at decodinglearningdifferences.com. And if you want a little bit of help and support in learning how to teach your own child, I'm here for you. You can find out about the services at yourparenthelp.com. Look at the services, find out about what's available, some options that you have. You can also just email me, Kimberlyn at decodinglearningdifferences.com. I can't wait to hear from you, and I look forward to talking to you again next week.